Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're shining a massive spotlight on a hidden, systemic crisis that's happening right under our noses in the world of companion parrot welfare. But more importantly, we're exploring a truly revolutionary, evidence-based solution built by Parrot Partners Canada. It's called the Guardian Support Program. If you care about animal welfare, or honestly, if you just love a brilliantly designed system that solves a really complex problem, this is going to be incredibly eye-opening.
5 to 20. I really want you to let that number sink in for a second. This is a staggering statistic derived directly from peer-reviewed research, and it represents the number of times a companion parrot is rehomed over the course of its life. Just imagine losing your home, your family, your entire environment, and literally everything you know, up to 20 times.
Now hold that thought and juxtapose that trauma with another set of numbers, 50 to 80. That is how many years a parrot can actually live. We're talking about highly intelligent, deeply emotional animals that form intense, long-lasting bonds with their human caregivers. The sheer cumulative trauma of being rehomed up to 20 times over a half-century lifespan, it's almost unimaginable. And that right there is the heart of the crisis. So what's the fix? Well, let's dive into it. The Guardian Support Program didn't just appear out of thin air. It was engineered specifically to solve 4 documented welfare failures. First, that heartbreaking cycle of serial rehoming. Second, death in emergencies. Avian vets are incredibly scarce, and because parrots instinctively hide illness, birds literally die in the gap between a crisis and getting care. Third, small miscommunications that snowball into massive behavioral issues. And finally, unpredictable life events, things like divorce or job loss. This program was built from the ground up to tackle every single one of these.
Section 1. Rethinking Rescue, the Paradigm Shift. Let's look at how Parrot Partners Canada fundamentally flips the script on animal welfare.
What's super fascinating here is the vocabulary. Notice they don't even use the word adoption. In a conventional rescue model, it's basically a simple handoff. You adopt the animal, you leave, and you are entirely on your own. But the GSP model, it is a safety net infrastructure. You become a guardian. It's this lifelong arrangement where the organization retains a real stake in the bird's welfare forever. To understand how this feels in practice, think of the program as your knowledgeable friend. It's basically a grandparent-like relationship. Yes, your parrot essentially gets a grandmother. You're the primary caregiver, absolutely, but Parrot Partners Canada is the family in the background. You do quarterly check-ins to share the good moments and the worrying ones. And if life throws you a curveball, the bird can always come back to Mima's. The point is, you're never doing this alone.
Section 2. The Safety Net Infrastructure. Let's see how this actually builds into a practical real-world framework. The actual mechanics of this safety net offer some incredibly robust benefits to your flock. Guardians unlock a whole suite of professional services that are either pro bono or heavily discounted. We're talking free nail, beak, and wing trims, biannual home visits, bridging and stabilization care at zero cost, but honestly, perhaps the most crucial feature, 24/7 emergency access. In a genuine crisis, you aren't getting an automated voicemail. You're getting a real live person who can help you stabilize the bird and tap right into a national medical network.
And get this, the support starts before the bird even steps foot in your house. Every single bird placed arrives pre-screened for serious diseases like PBFD, chlamydia psittaci, and polyomavirus. They also arrive partially trained. This is massive, right? Because it means you aren't starting from scratch. As a guardian, you're starting from a known health baseline and a really solid behavioral foundation. It sets both you and the parrot up for immediate success.
Section 3. The Investment. Proactive Care Costs.
Obviously, we have to talk about how this level of infrastructure is actually funded. The crucial point here is how this program structures its financials. It operates on a monthly membership fee scaled by the bird size. So a small bird is $10 a month, scaling up to $35 for a large bird. Now, when you consider that standard responsible guardian-side costs like proper food and annual vet visits typically run anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000 a year, this membership fee is literally the smallest line item in your budget. And just having the safety net to relinquish a small bird back to the program for free, that represents about $2,000 in value right there alone. Now, to maintain these benefits and your boarding access, the program does require an annual wellness exam, plus a complete blood count and PBFD screening every 2 years. You might be wondering, why make this mandatory? Well, as we mentioned earlier, parrots are absolute masters of disguise. They mask illness by instinct. By the time a bird actually looks sick, it's usually been sick for a long time. These required tests catch infection, inflammation, or fatal viruses way before visible symptoms ever pop up. This strict early detection standard protects the entire flock. It's never meant as a penalty, it's just the core condition that makes the whole program safe for every bird it serves. Section 4. Grounded in welfare science. Let's look at the hard data backing up this clinical approach. Listen to this quote from Bachhagen and Engel's 2022 research, because it absolutely hits the nail on the head. Lack of guardian knowledge is the single leading welfare issue for companion parrots, ranked above intentional neglect. Take a second to process that. It's not malice hurting these birds, it's just a simple lack of ongoing education. That's exactly why Parrot Partners Canada's model of continuing training and 24/7 support isn't just some nice little perk, it is quite literally a matter of life and death. Section 5. Becoming a parent partner. The placement process. Let's transition to the practical side and see how you'd actually join. First off, we gotta be real about who this program is actually for. The right fit is someone who sees ongoing involvement as a genuinely valuable resource. They share that standard of proactive care, and they really want that expert safety net. The wrong fit? That's someone who prefers to manage complex behaviors entirely on their own and maybe finds periodic check-ins kind of burdensome. And hey, that's a genuine mismatch. Experience shows that placements usually only fail when the guardian goes quiet and tries to fix everything completely alone. If you are the right fit, the placement process is rigorous, for sure, but it's incredibly supportive. You move from an application and info session to home and aviary visits straight into relationship building. But the absolute most crucial phase here is the training transfer. No bird leaves that aviary until crucial safety behaviors, like stepping up and carrier entry on cue, are absolutely mastered by both the bird and the guardian. You are perfectly equipped before you ever reach the concierge onboarding phase. So, why does the whole shebang matter? Because guardians who join this program are not just giving a bird a nice home, they are literally part of the solution. Across Canada, parrots are cycling through inadequate homes and welfare crises in numbers that absolutely dwarf what any single rescue organization could ever fix alone. By joining, guardians are actively building one of the only humane, evidence-based, long-term solutions to parrot welfare at scale. After seeing the sheer scale of the 5 to 20 rehoming crisis and this incredible paradigm-shifting infrastructure that Parrot Partners Canada has built to stop it, I have to leave you with this final thought. Are you ready to become a parrot partner? Reflect on the paradigm shift we've explored today. This isn't just about animal rescue anymore. It's about fundamentally changing how we support companion animals and their human families. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I challenge you to think about how you can step up and become part of the solution.